which says, what are the responsibilities of a woman over her husband? And this question is very important, and since it may take a long time to answer, I will just refer to one ayah in the Quran in this regard, and afterward we did record the whole program pertaining marriage life, marriage maintenance, and the rights of both the husbands and the wives, the spouses on each other, and so on. The ayah says, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. So there are duties and rights. The duties which are due on the wife are similar to the duties which are due on the husband, or even. Similarly are the rights. So if the husband is in charge for the financial support, for the protection, for the care of the family, for upbringing the children properly, then the wife is a house engineer. In most cases, she should look after the children, she should take care of her husband's needs. She should not allow any person in his house whom he dislikes. She should not speak to people whom he dislikes, as long as he does not order her to sever her relations with her family members. The Prophet ﷺ once had a woman who visited him, and he said, أَذَاتُ زَوْجٍ أَنْتِ? Are you married? She said, yes. So the Prophet ﷺ said, انظري أين أنت منه فإنه إما جنتك وإما نارك. Well, you have to understand that your husband is going to be either your paradise or your fire of hell, which means how you deal with your husband will determine whether you will be in paradise or otherwise. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ gives a bishara, a glad tiding to the wives and to the married women. Meanwhile, he reminds them with their responsibilities. He said, إِذَا صَلَّتِ الْمَرْأَةُ خَمْسَهَا وَأَطَاعَتْ زَوْجَهَا وَحَفِظَتْ فَرْجَهَا. If the woman does a few things, in one narration 5 things, in one narration 4 things. If she offers the 5 daily prayers, if she fasts during Ramadan, if she obeys her husband, if she guards and protects her chastity, then it will be said to her, enter paradise from whichever gate you desire. Enter Al-Jannah from which gate you choose. It will be said to her, ادخلي الجنة من أي أبوابها شئت. What an honor! But this is a task that requires the person to be committed lifetime. أطاعت زوجها means she obeys her husband. This obedience is not absolute, because he is not God and he is not infallible. The obedience in the commands, which are number 1 legal, number 2 affordable. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها, how can then for a man to ask another human being to do something beyond their capacity, or it will burden them? Okay? And the command has to be ma'ruf, has to be something legal. If this is the case, and the wife obeys her husband, she takes care of her household, وَالْمَرْأَةُ فِي بَيْتِ زَوْجِهَا رَاعِيَةٌ وَمَسْئُولَةٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهَا. One hand does not clap, brothers and sisters. There's got to be 2. The husband on one hand, and the other is the wife. So that تعاونوا, help one another, cooperate. To do what? على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. A few things the Arabic Bedouin poet, she was a woman, advised her daughter. It's a beautiful advice. I wish I can share it with you entirely, but it's not possible now. She says that make sure that your husband would not find but a good smell from you, so that if you know that he's coming home tired from work around 2 or 3, you should be finishing cooking and your kitchen work before that. So when he enters, you would only find the good fragrance, the good smell, not the onions and the garlic and all of that. All of us are full of shortcomings and errors, but this is a reminder, as I'm saying. And she also said that make sure that you do not starve him. Why? Because you are busy talking to somebody on the phone, involved in backbiting and slander for a couple hours. That's why he didn't get to cook. Or you were shopping. If this is done once in a while, no problem. But if it is done on regular basis, the husband will have to look around for somebody else.